Hi guys, it is an absolutely gorgeous day here in the end times in paradise. We have made it to Wednesday, January 13th, 2016. So just warning you, we might have cute puppy videos showing up on Humpty Dumpty Tribe. Say hi to the gang because you're all curmudgeon for the first time in how many years? Have me a little dog, have me a sidekick. That we got from the dog pound yesterday, and he's already wondering about what the universe has done with him. So obviously, thinking of a name for this little guy would be Sancho Panza. What do you think about that? Sancho Panza. Say hi to the gang, Sancho Panza. So anyway, just so you know, whenever I'm talking about Sancho Panza, this is the little guy I'm talking about. If you're unfamiliar with Sancho Panza, he is the sidekick, Don Quixote's sidekick. One of the great characters in literature from Michael Cervantes. Don Quixote. If you have not read that, and I like the first sentence of the character analysis of Sancho Panza from the get-go. It is Sancho's job to do whatever Don Quixote tells him. And as you can imagine, this leads Sancho into trouble from time to time. Sancho does not like getting into trouble, so he better stop chasing the damn chickens if Sancho doesn't like getting into trouble. But he's very loyal to his master. There you go, claiming that, quote, a child may persuade Don Quixote. It is night at noonday, and he, meaning Don Quixote, is so simple that I cannot help loving him with all my heart and soul, and cannot leave him in spite of his follies. Close quote. Sancho can see the faults in his master, and he knows that he is, well, eccentric. But for all of that, Sancho feels a loyalty towards him, and that's an admirable thing. But that said, Sancho is not one to fly into battle at the first sign that his master is in trouble. On several occasions, Don Quixote calls upon Sancho to stand up and fight, but Sancho always answers, I am a peaceful man, a harmless, quiet fellow. On several occasions, now Sancho is plenty loyal when it comes to riding around with Don Quixote in his gas-sucking pickup truck. But when it comes to the threat of physical violence, Sancho has no interest in Don Quixote's adventures. There you go. And don't forget the little opportunist. For all we've said about Sancho Panza's loyalty to his master, we don't want you to start thinking that this guy is some kind of simple-minded saint. Sancho follows Don Quixote around for one reason: to get something out of it. Yes, he knows his master is weird and eccentric, but he also knows that this is one loaded geezer. Pork chop bones. That's what Sancho is after. Yes. The only reason Sancho goes along with Don Quixote in the first place is because the Don has promised him that it was likely such an adventure might secure him the conquest of a pork chop. Yes. And on top of his opportunism, Sancho has no trouble bending the truth to suit his ends. Yes. But don't forget the practical wisdom. So when you combine all these things we know about Sancho Panza, you see that he is a complicated and contradictory little dog. On the one hand, he is uneducated and bad with words, but on the other hand, he's very wise in his own down-to-earth way. And he certainly finds some ingenious ways to get out of the messes his master gets him into. He can be totally loyal in some instances and totally self-centered in others. When you get down to it, Sancho is contradictory and flawed, which basically, and tired from chasing chickens, which basically makes him realistic, because everyone you will ever meet in life is contradictory and flawed. In some ways, Sancho is kind of a fool, just like his master. Like other famous fools of the time, Sancho and Don Quixote seem simple-minded, strange, and just downright foolish, but this foolishness often disguises some real wisdom. Sancho, like Shakespeare's Sir John Falstaff. Sir John Falstaff shows that even a silly, dishonorable, frequently tanked old coot can be a memorable character with some true wisdom, as long as he's got a good imagination and when it comes down to it, a pretty good heart. Yes, as Cervantes shows how complex even a couple of silly fools like Don Quixote and Sancho Panza can be. So there you go. Sancho Panza has joined Don Quixote, aka Hambun Littletail, and we will see where these foolish adventures take us, won't we? But I think you need to go to bed, Sancho Panza. He's had a long morning of chasing chickens. Anywho's, with that, we're going to educate Sancho Panza, your old fool, about climate change as I bring you my climate change meltdown roundup rant. Don't step on my computer, damn it. Bye, guys. Say bye. Say bye-bye. Cute puppy videos. Good God Almighty. What in the hell has your old curmudgeon gotten into?